Hey guys, it's Kylie Draws here, and I just want to say Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. It's not exactly Valentine's Day, but it's just like an early video since I won't be able to actually post on Valentine's Day, since I'll be like at school. But yeah, like I said in my last video, I am doing like a Valentine's Day video, which is this one right here. Well, it's not really mainly Valentine's, like the first drawing's Valentine's themed, but the one after this one is not really Valentine's themed, so it's kind of like productivity, drawing whatever I want. But yeah, so right now I'm drawing like my two dragon characters from like 2021, I think. Yeah, or maybe like from 2020, which I created during lockdown. But yeah, I haven't drawn them in a very long time. So the one who's like, the one which I drew in black is, I think, wait. Like I said, I have not drawn these in a very long time. I think I've only drawn them like once or twice, but the one that I drew in black is called Nightfall, and the one which I drew in red is called Bayou. Yeah. I'm pretty sure, like, I took a lot of creative liberties on redrawing these characters, but like I said, they are dragon OCs, or like dragon hybrids from my Wings of Fire phase. I did keep a lot of their like distinct features. For example, for Nightfall, she's a Silkwing Sea-Wing, I think. The original OC was a Silkwing Nightwing, I'm pretty sure, but I decided to make her a Silkwing Sea-Wing, kind of. I don't know, but like, yeah, since she's like a Silkwing, I added the kind of like butterfly antler things, antenna, I don't know what to call them, but yeah, I decided to draw them as people because I haven't drawn humans in a very long time, and I don't really draw them, so yeah. Also, at the same time, I don't feel like I'm confident enough to draw dragons again. I haven't drawn them in like, I don't know, a few years or something. And I've only drawn them like pretty occasionally. Yeah, for the clothes for Nightfall, I didn't really know what I was doing. I just looked up something on Pinterest and found something which I really liked. So yeah, that's what she's wearing. I decided to make the outfits kind of like matching. Not exactly matching, but like similar enough. And like add, you'll see later that I add the bow from Nightfall's sleeve onto Bayou's shoes. Yeah. Now I'm doing the line art. There's not much to say about this, except that I did find a new brush which I really liked for the line art. It's called Marker 2. It's a free brush, of course, because I don't spend money on stuff. But yeah, I really like how it kind of tapers and how there's a lot of line weight and like pressure sensitivity. Overall, I just really like the brush because it also has a kind of like a texture to it, and I think that's really cool. I don't really know what else to say for the line art since I'm just kind of like drawing over the sketch and making it better. But yeah, this was actually my first time drawing someone sitting down with a skirt or something, because I don't really draw dresses or skirts or, you know, anything that isn't like shorts or pants or something. But I don't know. I think it looks really nice. I'm happy for like my first go at trying to draw those. I should probably practice drawing them more, but like most of my characters don't really wear dresses or skirts. But yeah. Now I'm doing the line art for Bayou. Like I said, there's not much to say about the line art, it's just line art. I was actually considering changing the color of the line art later, but I ended up not doing that because I'm pretty sure I forgot, or I just thought it was too much work to do that since it's already, like, I basically already finished the piece and I was already 2 hours into drawing it, and I felt like I didn't need to spend more time on it because, I don't know, it looks good enough to me. But yeah. Also for the pose, I got it from Pinterest too, of course. But yeah. I should also probably practice drawing more poses. So I can, you know, draw poses off the top of my head and not make them look boring. And also so I don't have to use references. But like using references is good. I just feel like it's a bit tedious to go back onto Google. I don't know, it saves a lot of time for me in general. Just my personal preference. But yeah. Also, like, on the ceiling, there are like these light things underneath their eyes because they live in the water and stuff, and they use their water language. I don't know. But yeah, I decided to add those to Nightfall later in the piece because that was basically when I decided that I wanted her to be not a Nightwing because it would be kind of hard to represent that and like be a Seawing, Silkwing instead. But yeah. Also for the coloring, which I'm doing now, I decided to like not make them entirely human. They just looked human. They just didn't have, you know, they're more dragon, if you know what I mean. But yeah. Also, I found out what the tolerance on the paint bucket means. I found out how to use it. Like when I'm kind of doing the shading, which you'll see later, I make the tolerance go up so there won't be like so many lines everywhere when I cut paint bucket on the parts where there are gradients. For example, in the hair, because I add a bit of a gradient to the hair later on Nightfall. But yeah, I found out that it can be used for like adding solid colors to parts where there are gradients and there won't be any white lines. So yeah, good thing. But I feel like the dynamic between my two OCs is very cute. So Nightfall's like kind of more of a calm one, and Bayou's more of like more energetic to say. But yeah, I just really like the personality dynamic, even though I've only drawn them like once or twice. I feel like I should bring back some of my old OCs and like just revive them from the OC graveyard and just give them a bit more love, you know? Oh, and also I feel like I'm getting better at drawing clothing folds. They still don't look really good, but I personally think I'm getting better at drawing them. I don't know. I'm trying to practice a lot more on doing clothing folds. But yeah, there's not really much else to say about the shading, except that I actually remember now to put the eyes on a different layer than the color, and also put like the shading for the eyes on a different layer, because I have to lower the opacity for that. But yeah, there's not really much to say about the shading. I just do shading. Yay. No. Oh yeah, speaking about like Valentine's Day, since this is like mainly Valentine's Day and stuff. But yeah, I'll be at school on Valentine's Day. Woo! That's not nice. But like, I hope that even if you don't have a partner and you're just single, I hope Valentine's Day is just a place where you can treat yourself to stuff like food. I don't know. I haven't really done the Valentine's Day special video on this channel before, so yeah. Oh, and also for the eyes, I decided to make them more detailed. I don't know, I'm trying to focus on like doing more detailed eyes, because I think they look really nice. Like, not too detailed, but like just detailed enough that it looks shiny and it looks cool. But yeah, I actually decided not to add like the whites of her eyes and just leave them the skin color, because Nightfall's skin color is like really light. It's like a light purple. So yeah, I decided not to add the white because you wouldn't really see it. And yeah, I've also tried to experiment with like adding highlights to the hair. I think it looks really nice. Like, I just basically add a line with the airbrush of the color of the hair set to add, and then I just like use a soft eraser to just randomly make lines and stuff. Oh yeah, and also my favorite brush for textures for the background is definitely the colorful fragments brush. I use that way too much. Oh yeah, and also I like adding shadows now, because like for the backgrounds, because I realized I was looking at my like old art and I realized that I don't really add shadows. And I think I should like add them more, so yeah. Also, since this is kind of like a quote-unquote profile picture, I just added the names of the characters, so yeah. But that's kind of it. That's like the entire drawing. There's not much to say, but on to the next one. Okay, so I actually drew this earlier, but I decided to change up the Kylie profile picture on my YouTube channel. Cause like I was looking at the old one and I was just looking at everything which I didn't like. There were many things which I didn't like about the old profile picture. So many, in fact, that I decided to change and draw an entirely new one. So yeah, new year, new profile picture. But I don't know, I might change it again very soon in the future. Maybe later in the year, I don't know, we'll see. But I've been trying to practice my lineless style, like I said before in like a bunch of other videos, but I'm starting to really like the lineless style. I think it looks really neat and like super simple, but like also detailed at the same time, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I decided to do lineless style and skip the line art, even though it does take more time. I just think it looks really good. But yeah, I feel like I should probably do more lineless drawings because like I really like how it looks, but at the same time it takes a long time to do just one drawing. I don't know. Once I start like getting better at doing lineless art, I think I'll start working on my speed, and then I don't know, a style change. But yeah, after like experimenting with some lineless stuff before drawing this, I think I was pretty confident going into this drawing. I don't know, I just like decided to do a profile picture. Also, because I've changed so many different aspects about the Kylie character. I kept a lot of them the same, but I decided to change a few, like the clothes, the hair, kind of. Like, I kept the kind of like basic hair idea, but I don't know. The old one just didn't seem like my style anymore, and I really wanted to, you know, add a bit more of my style back. Also, for the shading, for this lineless art, it was interesting. For lineless art, I have to use like a bunch of layers. But like, it wasn't that difficult. It was alright. Also, I actually realized I forgot to draw the ear. So yeah, you can see me adding it in right now. But yeah, there's not really much else to say about the shading, except that it was kind of hard because I'm so used to working with line art and knowing where like each shape ends and each shape starts. But yeah, it took a lot of interpreting. And also sometimes the layers just didn't like me and they weren't working. So yeah. But I think the shading went pretty smoothly. I quite liked how it turned out. But yeah. There's not really much else to say about the shading until like we get into the highlights and the backgrounds. But yeah. Well, now I'm adding the highlights, so I forgot that like the hair on the front and the hair on the back are on two separate layers. So when I added the airbrush and then like started, you know, doing my stuff, the highlight stuff, it just got a bit weird, a bit messy, and like, I don't know, it looked kind of cut off, kind of. Also, I'm surprised that like I kept the same colors and gradient for backgrounds for Kylie. It's kind of like just a running thing. But yeah, here are the finished pieces. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope that everyone has a happy Valentine's Day. Yeah. Bye!